Oh,
Okay.
right.
All right. How you feeling right now? You okay?
Yes, I'm doing great.
Okay. So I'm
How
excited. So
you
Felisa, I
doing?
told you earlier today, I said, hey, I want to make sure that I get to chat with you and at least share your story because your story inspires me. And I know that if it
Yeah,
inspires me, I am more than certain it will inspire other people. Okay.
I
So
hope.
I mean, here's what I'm gonna say. If someone listens to your story, and if they're not able and if it doesn't inspire them to at least take action to want to be successful, they're probably dead. Okay, like
You
they're
think
probably not even
there's
living. Yeah, they probably don't want if they can't be inspired after listening to all the things that you've already overcome, they don't want it.
yeah,
They just don't want it for themselves. Okay.
yeah.
Um,
But that,
so you guys are like, what is he talking about? All right, here's what I'm talking about. So I want to say this before we dive right into um, everything that you're going to share with us. A
uh-huh.
lot of times, what happens is that people oftentimes make excuses on why they can't do something,
Hmm.
right? So a
I've
person's
been,
like, you've been there.
yeah, when you first started mentoring me. Yeah,
So sometimes I will hear people say to me, Leland, I really I want to get into real estate. I want to learn real estate investing. I want to do this, want to do this, I want to do that. But then it's always some excuse, It's maybe the time
yeah,
commitment. It's
yeah,
maybe a money thing. It's some kind of excuse, okay?
yeah.
Um, so okay. Felisa, if you don't mind, can you can we start with you traveling across the country first? Is that cool?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to paint the picture or get the landscape real quick. Felisa closed a deal last Friday. Felisa currently lives
Yeah.
in what state?
In California.
In
From
California. The property, yep, the property that you closed is in what state?
Indiana, where I used to live.
Indiana. Okay.
Annapolis.
So can you tell us first about moving?
Well, I was retired as a court reporter. I, I had been retired. I had gone through treatment after I retired in 2016. One day I was in the kitchen. It was around Thanksgiving and heard something on the homeless veterans. And I was thinking, yeah, that sounds like an oxymoron. I thought, how sad. But I thought I was being drawn to California because Malva, who had lupus, she died of complications from lupus in San Diego. But I decided I wanted it, so I come here scared shitless. But I got here and saw how many homeless people there were. The fear changed to sadness because San Diego makes Indiana have a homeless issue. It's that many people out here on the streets. 2022 right now, and through a lot since I've been here. But God has gotten me through that. I'm ready to do the homeless initiative. Favorite house. Yeah.
So real quick, just I don't want to fly past that.
Hmm.
So what you just shared with us is something that is dear to you and something that means a lot,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
for those of you who are wondering what Felice is talking about, she is talking about homeless. Okay, she mentioned homeless veterans. She mentioned the homeless population in San Diego. let alone the state of California.
California. Yeah.
So the
And for,
first thing I would like people to get from what you're saying is you have a mission,
yeah.
you have a reason that you push forward. And that reason is bigger than yourself. And there are times when I speak to people and they tell me, "Oh, Leland, I want to do real estate, whatever else." And when I'm like, "Cool, what's your reason for wanting to do it?" Many people want to do real estate for themselves.
Yeah.
Period. Like that's it. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like that's it. And it's like just for themselves. And here
Yeah.
you are, you make people aware why you do it, but that your reason for doing it is larger than yourself.
Or were the one that convinced me to do that. You said I could do real estate investing, do more for the people in real estate investing because I could generate more cash. The nonprofit, the 501c3, but that was the main reason because you said that I could generate more cash. And I believe I'm more time making more deals until the 501. And then even afterwards, I'm in wholesaling for those on the street, those that want to get off the street. There are some that don't have whatever issues they have going on. But the majority of the people on the street, at least not the ones I've run into.
So, Felisa, real quick, you moved from one end of the United States to the other,
Yeah.
and I want to let people know that for most people know this, but we have to say it anyway. For most
Uh-huh.
people, to move from one place to the other is scary.
Yeah. It was
Did you
scary
have
for me.
Tell us
But
about the fears that you had or the uneasiness.
I didn't even have a place here. I had sold my investment property in Indianapolis. I sold my house. I just came out here on faith. Why? I guess I could have gone to Illinois or Kentucky or someplace close, thinking it was because my sister lived here. My sister Malva. San Diego has the fourth highest homeless population, and I'm pretty sure LA has homeless population in San Diego. I'm certain of it, at least YouTube. But this is where I was supposed to be. Brought me out here for a reason. I don't think he brought me out here to drop me off. At least that's what I'm telling myself. Lord, where are you? Right by me. We could talk about the things I've been through since
So it's funny, like when I think about what you've done, it reminds me a little bit of like a Bible story where
yeah.
like, for example, God might say to Abraham, "Hey, I want you to move from the Chaldees to this other area." And he's like, I don't even know where that's at." He's like, "Yeah, go ahead and pack up and get to moving." Okay, so
Yeah. That's what
for
we
me,
did.
that's what you did and that's like, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, that is one of the biggest acts of faith.
Yeah. some other acts of faith when I was in the hospital. But yes, it is an act, because I mean, probably thought I was crazy to come out here, but because, and it isn't for my glorification, it's for, people have told me that in the big scheme of things, I'm not going to really, but in that same sense, for the effect, generationally, it could have on someone's life from someone that's homeless that I've helped. Put it in perspective, because at first I was ready to propel on a rusty knife. After I thought about it like that, I thought, well, yeah, change of someone's life. You know, not that I feel like I'm sad, but if it can help one person, it's worth it. Yeah.
There's a let me I want to just kind of put this on the screen so people can understand why this is so important real quick. And I'm gonna try my best, Felesa, to draw an illustration of so far your journey, right? So
Yeah.
you're in Indianapolis, and then you move to somewhere new, and so for most people, that's a life-changing event, right?
It is. It was for me.
So now you're in a new place, and you're doing new things.
Yeah.
You got time zone changes.
Yeah.
We have
That's why I
meetings as
was asleep.
we have meetings as a team at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's like 7 a.m. your time.
Yes.
Okay,
But I'm
so
up at 4. I'm sitting.
so you're up at 4, right?
Yeah.
You had to learn new technology in general because at one point you were like really committed to this IBM. Was it an IBM computer?
Yes, it's the one reporter, an IBM based Toshiba laptop. The
Oh my
S,
gosh.
as you called it.
I call that thing an STI computer, y'all. Felisa was so
Not a
committed to,
virus.
to this laptop. I'm like, Felisa, there are better tools out there. Like
Oh,
get rid of that laptop.
yeah. And I
So
found out what they were.
you did. So
Yeah.
but hear me out. You were willing. You were willing to try something new.
It took me a few years, but yes, after I got frustrated with, like, come on in. And once I started using it uh, operating system, it just seems so easy now. What I was going through with the virus computer.
Yeah.
Although
Then
don't an expert yet, but one day.
some people would make the excuse of being in a new environment,
It's too hard.
relocating. Yeah, absolutely. I hear people tell me this. They make the excuse of time commitment. You're 3 hours
Yeah.
behind us.
Yeah.
They make the excuse of they feel as though that they may have missed the boat, or that it's not the right timing. Right?
And I have
You've overcame
days
that.
where I feel that. Yeah. I,
But
I
does that stop you?
it sure doesn't, because I want to come back to Indiana to do the same thing. So I've pretty time schedule out here. This time next year, I want to be. Now I've put it out in the atmosphere. Indiana, New York, and then come back west. The war's pretty bad there. But yeah, you have to put one foot in front of. But when I came here too, I don't know if you remember, you told me, you said it would be a good time to establish your habits, you know. And but I'm sober and clean now, thanks to and God getting my attention.
Absolutely.
I've been through a lot since I've
You've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to that part yet, but yeah, like for example, you had there were some health things that you overcame as well. You had conquered addiction. You had conquered cancer. You've conquered you like
pneumonia.
Yeah, pneumonia. I forgot about them. Yeah, like legit. I remember.
Let's not forget the pneumonia.
All jokes aside,
yeah.
For some of the meetings, Felesa was on our meeting, coughing, and one time she was coughing so bad. I said, Felesa, oh, I was like, Felesa,
cough up a lung or what?
That's what I know. I said, are you about to? I was joking, but I was trying to make light of the situation. But the whole point was, you were willing to stick to routine. Yeah.
So I was in the bed. I forgot about that too.
You were in the bed.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
But hold on, Felesa, can you explain to everyone how the deal that you closed on Friday, when you were in the hospital bed or when you weren't feeling well, that you were still able to get that property under contract initially?
Yeah, it had just gotten it under contract. Maybe, right before I went in the hot 2022, and the person, the seller, was communicating with me in the hospital. How's it going? And I'm thinking, look, man, I'm in here fighting for my life. It ain't going too well right now, but we're going to stick with it. When I do finally get out of the hospital a month later, and then pneumonia, the sepsis and UTI, I start putting and doing the different things that were suggested in our meetings, committing to the time to get in touch with, and going through that whole process. I learned so much. Eventually got a buyer for it. Learned a lot in that process too. About but it happened. Perseverance.
I want to, but before we get into the buyer lessons and the seller lessons, because I think you can write a book about those situations, by the way.
Wow.
I would like people to understand that as you were dealing with what's considered valleys or challenges,
we had a few.
You still continue to be consistent throughout those low points.
Take any of the credit for that. I guess I should, but it was only by the grace. A few times it sort of reminded me of when I was pledging the towel. But you taught me just putting one foot in front of the other day by day. And then also you too that you're going to have to do this when you go out on your own. So do whatever is required and get the job done. But I still just have a hard time taking credit for it. That's an issue with me.
No, I think you just you deserve the lion's share of credit, because if you did not choose to make an active decision to actually step forward, nothing would have happened.
I got to make this go away. I've got other people I need, other deals I need to get under contract. And when it did go away, or it felt like a weight off my shoulders. And now, with the doctors that I need to get with, the hematologist right after I got out of the hospital, and the oncologist, because of what's going on with my thymus gland. I'm treading uphill like or upstream rather, like again, because I'm thinking you've got calls to make, but then I'm also thinking your health is important, so you need to take care of that too. But I know with that on track, as a matter of fact, tomorrow I've carved out to make calls all day, but you just have to keep at it. And I've used your greatness that you gave us in Asset Builders Club, and I have a call log of who I've called, different things that I needed, that people are looking for from me, and just organize was the biggest thing for me, because as you know, something just from being an administrative assistant before I was a court reporter, you have to move forward from organization and do the dang thing.
That's right. There's
And I feel there's a what?
No, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Now I forgot what I was going to say about that.
Here, let me see something real quick.
You just have, huh?
No, here I'm going to change the screen real quick. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You just have to keep doing what you do, and after a while, it's like riding a bike. Because one of the things I want to do is to learn efficiency, how to make offers on the fly. But what were you going to, Rose journey? Yeah, I remember this from Asset Builders Club. Yeah.
Whenever in the very beginning, we had told everyone that everyone is the hero of their own story. Like, no one else is the hero.
Yeah.
You are meant to be the hero of your own story. And there's something that Joseph Campbell coined called the hero's journey. Now, this is something that, as people may know, that goes back way before Joseph Campbell, but he happened to be someone that coined it. And what happens is that the hero in the story, before they become a hero, they hear a calling. They feel like they feel as though they are meant to do something better. They're meant to do more. They're meant to have a bigger impact in the world and in their life. And when they decide to search for something better, they come across a mentor. And at that point, it's up to them to choose whether or not they want to embark on the journey with their mentor. Okay.
We did.
And we did, absolutely.
You remember?
And so,
yeah.
and it's been great. And
Yeah.
But I want people to know that the hero, once they embark on that journey and they choose to cross the known world to the quote unquote unknown world, or that barrier, they start doing something new. They're met with trials, failures. They're met with growing pains to gain new skills, to gain new knowledge. And then they go through something that's called like a death and a rebirth. They have a very, very low moment.
Oh my God. You're going to make, I
And we,
forgot all about this.
and the reason that I mention this to everyone when we first get started is because everyone will go through a low moment.
Oh, we had a few.
And the key though, and I want people to listen to this is like really important. The key is when you go through the low moment, if you stop and turn back, if you choose to go back to the normal quote unquote world,
Yeah.
you're going to have that calling to adventure again where you feel as though you still don't fit and you feel as though something's missing and you feel as though you're called out to adventure. But then what's happening is you're having to start all over again.
Glad I didn't quit because there was a point where I wanted to. Back to Indiana.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then I
Because
said, the hell?
if if a person quits in their low moment, see, for example, the low moment is what qualifies the person to upgrade to the next level that they need to have.
Yeah.
The low moment is metaphorically the rite of passage. Now, everyone's low moment will look different, but everyone will have a low moment. When that low moment is complete, they go through what's called revelation. They then have a final change. They have what's called atonement, where all that was taken is now finally restored, right? And we see that in movies all the time, in books and fairy tales, right? Where everything is made whole
Yeah.
again. And then now that they have metaphorically all power in their hand, they come back with, being the hero. They return to that normal world, that hometown, so to speak. They return changed, and then they begin to help other people to make it through their low moment, or they return to help other people to become greater. And
God.
that's essentially what you're doing, Felisa.
Did, did I just now say that today? Wanting to help others.
You said
When
it.
I got all about the hero's journey. I have to admit I did. But did what Hank said when he said, down an affirmation, and I have it on the refrigerator. I 3 deals a day. And, making 3 offers. And then as it goes through the funnel, like you've taught us, then eventually, after you make so many offers, then so many deals will come through. If I could do a deal a day.
Yeah. And so real quick, for people who don't know, um, did you feel as though that in your process that you were able to get support from Marcus, from Hank, from myself,
Oh,
throughout
yeah.
your journey?
Oh, yeah. If it hadn't been, I probably would have been back in Indiana by now. Yes. Your system is amazing. It's phenomenal. Automated. It's like no other system I've seen. You guys have done everything but done the job for us. Made everything else is there. The calculations in the spreadsheets, offers to make. It's just a matter of just doing it, making the call, able to deal with people saying no, maybe, or yes.
Yeah. What would you tell
But
someone that maybe is on the fence, or maybe someone who makes excuses?
that's something you have to work out within yourself. It's and one of my incentives for wanting to get this deal done was going to make money. And I'm at a point where, because my affected when I went in the hospital, so I have an incentive now. As a matter of fact, it's like fire burning on your butt. You with it before you get burned up and won't be able to do anything. So right now, all I think about is if you got through that first, ought to be pretty easy compared to that one. So just and just keep doing the same thing over and over. Have toughened up about is you run into all kind of people, but you just have to keep doing your routine down, and you've got to want it badly enough. There's I don't know what to say, because to be honest with you, what I've felt like real estate investing, when you first said I'm going to sign you up for the apprenticeship program, I didn't come out here for that. I came out here to work with my home. But it's also taught me that when I get to that I'm going to have ups and downs in that. I'm going to, with the homeless initiative, but I know that. So maybe the wholesaling has been a lesson for me when I run into some opposition to just, but I just can't believe this. Her heroes about that. And I do feel like I have grown. I feel like I was crawling, and now I'm starting. You know how when a child starts to fall, they get up and walk again, and then they fall. Sometimes when you fall, but you've got to want it badly enough that you'll get up and keep going. Because I don't have a problem with people saying no or phone. I had this one person say, I just would prefer to text. They are, but you also have to do soul searching and find out for yourself. Want this? Do I want to change my life? Because not Katrina. I'll just say my spiritual advisor, financial advisor, but my spiritual advisor, before I came out here, because I want an oceanfront home, and just a dream of mine. Look up oceanfront homes. Do you know, just within the past that I actually put my name into and the person called me when I was at the doctor's office today. You need a realtor? Um, I said, well, one day I will. Today. And she said, well, thank you for your honesty. But I thought in the back of my mind, I looked at a $28 million house. Now, really, I don't need that oceanfront home, but it was just beautiful. But dreams. So if you have a dream, you need to realize that dream. Another thing I think about is being 70 years. I don't know how many years I have left. My mother's 89, will be 89 in January, and has Alzheimer's. But if God brought me to California, the least I could do is because when I was in the hospital, I going through from alcohol. I had all kind of visions, but the one that stands out in my mind was when I went to my ancestors, and all I could see is them telling me, in my mind, is you have to go back, and God taking my hand and bringing me back like them, because I've never prayed to my ancestors before, especially those were dead before I before I went into everybody, but I never lost faith that God was, even when they were asking me, did I have my affairs in order, that I might not, the process of intubation, God would bring me through that. But I think it has a lot to do with my state of mind, positive thinking, my affirmations, strong faith. I was, even though I don't say I'm apostolic, child, that was instilled in me, church. But you've got to say, no matter what, I'm going to do this. I may be beat up, but you can clean yourself up and go on. You go through the valleys to get to the mountains, I guess. And I've seen some valleys, but through that, I felt like I just, it's sort of akin to pledging. When the towel, and you think it's about over, and I'm not going to be in this sorority, say, and you are made, and then you feel, if I could get through that, I could get through anything. But you've got to want it. You've got to want to put in the time. Got to want to learn how to make offers on the fly. See make an offer, and also too, like they say, is in the follow up. There are a lot of deals that have been done and talking to people, but thank God I don't have it. As a matter of fact, I think I talk too much. Running from me with their dogs out here. Brought up the hero's journey again, because
Yeah,
I surely have.
I want people to know. So I think we should do another one just to go over what you've learned with dealing with the seller and the buyer and the lessons from that, and then and then also what you would tell others on how to handle those same situations. I think that would
Yeah,
help people as well.
yeah.
So we'll have to come back and do a part two so that we
Okay,
can help people through that as well.
I'll be on my Mac the next time.
Okay. Any parting words that you want to leave the folks with?
This never give up, even when you get ready to give up, and then come back and say, I'm back. Never give up,
That's good.
no matter what. But we've been together, what, since 2018?
Yep.
And this didn't happen overnight.
No.
And you are always so patient. You never scream at me.
No.
and
My-
Hank's the same way. And Marcus, I figured he would have blocked my emails by now. He said the other day in class, and I know we're gonna, but uh, he said, if you have any questions, don't, excuse me. And I said, everybody but Felesa. And I ended him because he said, have I ever not answered one of your I would call myself being facetious, but or joking with him. He hasn't. And he gets into a lot of detail, which helps. As you know, I ask all kind of questions that most other people probably know. But whenever you get ready to talk about other aspects of real estate, no, I'd be glad to see or give encouragement to anybody. I can do it, and I know that sounds cliche too, but if I can do it, you can do it. Especially learning new systems, new operating systems, just like stenography has changed to voice now. But you've got to keep, or you become a dinosaur and you have to go home or die like the dinosaurs did. But that was climate.
Yeah.
But never give up.
Never give up. Never give up.
Yeah.
Well,
Now,
all right.
wide awake.
Oh no. Well, we have to end it here. Again,
Okay.
we have to do a part two.
Okay.
And thank you for at least being willing to share your time and to help others,
And
so that they can be inspired and also know that, as you said, they can do it too as long as they never give up.
yes, and they should be so lucky to have a mentor like you. You are a dear friend, Leland. You and your
You are.
family.
The kids say, "Hey," by the way.
Tell them I said, hey, give them a kiss, sweetest little things, and tell Marika hi.
I will.
I,
All right, we love you
I
too.
didn't
We'll talk to you soon.
hear. Oh, take care.
All right, bye.
Bye bye.